let's talk about one concept that I've been trying to sell to my friends about having big, hairy, audacious goals.
Right.
Now, it seems like there are 3 big, hairy, audacious goals, and I'm going to mention them, and I want probably also to confirm whether they are big, hairy, audacious goals, and actually how did you achieve them. The first one is about Stedman,
right?
And the job that you did there for 10 years. It's amazing. Probably it started with 3 people, and now it grew and eventually selling it. Well, the second story is about the story of Tafaria, and also to try and figure out what are the themes in all these three instances. And the last one, and very good, you talk about Tafaria is a place for inspiration.
Right.
Well, if you don't know, my viewers, is that George is also behind View Sasa. We all know what is View Sasa is the Kenya Netflix. And I would like him also to say something about that and whether there is any connection between that and inspiration from Tafaria.
Right, interesting. Actually, that's when I look back at my life, it can be, if you like, seen through those 3 phases: the Stedman phase, the Tafaria phase, and now View Sasa, which of course is running parallel with Tafaria. But to say this, Stedman, I joined Stedman as a very small enterprise. In fact, we used to operate from Roger Stedman's, house, very, very small team. But the thing that brought about, that made the brand to become the kind of brand that it became, was one, we had a very clear vision. But that in itself was not enough. But the clarity of vision was very important. And then the connection with it. Yeah. It was very clear what we wanted to achieve. And then we went beyond that and came up with a whole plan on how to execute it. All right? So I led that company with conviction because the clarity of vision was so good. Second, it was so exciting. And then because it's a startup, I think there's a lot of joy associated with it. A lot of people don't quite understand what they see. In a lot of cases, are challenges within a startup. But if you look at the other side of saying that a startup is almost like a clean slate. You're being given something to do whatever you want to do with it. Yeah. And that in itself is very exciting. It's very enjoyable. I personally enjoy creation because I get what I would characterize as instant gratification. Because you're able to measure the impact of what you have done. So that passion that I developed for the work that I was doing in Stedman helped, me get the drive that I needed to grow the company across Africa, make it an Africa multinational. And when we eventually, sold the brand, the company rather, it was quite rewarding. So that's at the core of the vision, the connection with it, which then gives you the passion and the drive, to run with it. And then came this, which, like I said, comes from my childhood days. Yeah. Then View Sasa, and View Sasa is my connection and run with the whole idea comes from 2 things. One, my experience in media research, because as I was doing research at Stedman, one of my area of passion and deep-seated interests was media research. And with that, I was able to see there's a big gap in the marketplace, all right? Particularly in as far as local content distribution is concerned, particularly in as far as giving people convenience in accessing the content, in giving those who produce the content a platform to distribute, to monetize, and to promote their content. But also, most importantly, I think I would like to summarize that by saying that anything that you're doing in your life, the first and most important thing is to ensure that there is a need for it.
Very interesting you talk about startups because, well, the way I view each one of us, we are all kind of startups. Yeah. And you have a blank sheet of paper where you are supposed to draw your story. Yeah. Now, as you do that, some people obviously are challenged to say, well, I don't know my purpose in this world. Yes. I don't have that vision. Yeah. How do we discover our purpose? How do we discover our vision? Is there a practice? Is there some recommendation for me to be able to discover what my purpose is?
I'm not so sure about that either because I don't know really whether discovering my purpose in life came through a process of systematic inquiry. There you sit back and say, okay, I'm sitting myself down, I'm having a meeting with myself to discover my purpose. I have never been through a process like that. So I don't want to pretend that I have a toolkit for that. But one thing I know for sure is that based on my experience in running Stedman and doing Tafaria, the way I have seen it work is to say, this is my purpose in life, but it is scary. I might fail.
Yeah.
So can you break that purpose in life, that goal, that vision, that dream into small, manageable steps? All right? Now, if today, Edward, I told you that there's a lion behind that bush, all right, and how you're likely to touch it, you'll be so terrified.
Correct.
You will not even make the first step towards that bush.
Correct.
But if I take you there, you can't see the lion, but I'm revealing a small little part of something that you have no idea exactly. But you know there's a big thing here.
Correct.
Touch here.
Small by small.
You know, and touch here.
Yeah.
You'll have ended up touching the entire lion.
Correct.
But it didn't scare you. So similarly, this dream you have, this goal that you have, is scary. That's why you're not starting.
Yeah.
But if you have these small little steps that are achievable, you can actually start walking that journey without the fear, without the worry of, shall I have sufficient resources, without the worry of, what are people likely to say? Because the steps are likely to be so small that they may not even be visible to the outside world. If you're fearing the outside world.
Yeah.
Before you realize, you've so far gone, your foundation is so well laid that whatever remains is just roofing this house and painting it. And it's beautiful and everybody will love it. And I give you a quick illustration of even this place. We bought the first piece of land very, very cheaply. And the second thing we did was to start planting the trees that you see around. We planted more than 25,000 of them. And back then, a seedling was 1 shilling, 1 bob. And a labourer then was 100 shillings. So a thou was money that would do very significant amount of trees. A thou, I cannot even take you for a coffee, whatever. It's nothing.
Sure. Yeah.
But look at the value that that brought onto this place. So small little steps. But ultimately, this is where I want to be.
Correct.
But I don't see this big lion in its full. Let me approach it from
the small steps, and once you hit those small steps, you celebrate, and you
celebrate, and then you move to the next. So that way I have seen. But then again, that is not enough, because people do that. I have seen people start, all right, but then they get distracted because of this thing of, again, social conformity. You hear now, oh, this is a in thing, so you move this way. Oh, now this is a in thing.
It was M-Pesa soap, then they moved to Babuchari.
To Babuchari, to this. So you're all over the place, doing a lot of things, but your core thing is not happening. So for that, I say and I tell people that the moment you do those steps, can you follow them with brutal consistency? Brutal is a word you need to underline. Put it in
brutal
bold and
consistency.
Brutal consistency.
You sleep, you wake, This is
that's what you think until it happens.
Yeah.
So that to me is what I can say about toolkit for realizing your dreams or your purpose in life.
Which is having a big, hairy, audacious goal.
Yes.
Cut it into small pieces.
Yes.
Be persistent.
Yes.
And be, consistent and always persist.
Executed with that brutal consistency. Because by doing that, you realize that your thinking, your resources, your prayers even, all those things now gets directed towards that journey. Yeah.